Hey guys, welcome back, LTS, and of course we're talking football, and with me on the set is Curtis Owen. He's the president of the Northern Coaches Football Association. Now, it would be remiss of me to ask, do you or did you play football in your younger years?
Yes, of course. I played plenty football, as a matter of fact, spanning over between 10 to 15 years, various clubs, different positions, and it was well worth the experience, so that I could apply to my charges, whom I coach. So, you know, players most of the time, when you're coaching them, they like to see demonstrations.
Yeah.
So as a past player or a present player, you know, you have to demonstrate to your charges so they'll know that, okay, the coaches are bringing about certain things that he has been taught and he knows what he's doing. So yes, the experience was worthwhile right now.
Would you say it's a plus to a coach to have that actual playing experience?
Oh yes, definitely. It is a plus because at the end of the day, you know, you kind of reflect back on your playing experience where you could pass on that knowledge to your charges. It is an experience, yes. Nicely.
Now, I know the Northern Football Association, their election is coming up soon. Any inside info on that?
Well, we haven't had any confirmed date as to when the election is. It is only rumored that it is sometime around probably this year, this month, but there's no confirmation. However, we have a gentleman in the name of Mr. Nevik Dinoon, who's contesting the post of president, and the Northern Football Coaches Association is strongly behind Mr. Dinoon. That gentleman who has been a community role model in terms of coaching soccer, former national player, and you know, these are the type of people we really want to assume office because we want to have something strong going rather than the norm that, you know, you just pick up somebody and put them in a position and they have a clue of what's going on. You know, that has been going on for too long.
I'm agreeing with you there. There's a lot I want to say on that.
That's what mashing up the whole thing, you know. That's what mashing up the whole thing.
The system, the entire sport.
Because if we even go a little further now, you have an association, and we don't even have youth football for the past 2 years. And youth football is the continuation going into senior football. So, you know, we don't even have, you know, and it's killing the football in the north, whereby teams have to leave the Port-au-Prince area and go to the east to compete in youth football. And that's not right. That's not right. We need to have a structure of proper youth football so that we can see that development of young national players going forward representing each zone.
Now, I just want to ask though, and I know it's done internationally, but I know a lot of people were complaining about the fact that the under-20 players, if they're playing for the tournament, they cannot be a part of the actual school football. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, when we look at it from a national point of view, what happens is that they look at injury in terms of you're representing the country, and one would expect that you keep yourself to a certain level, that when the national team calls upon you to represent, that you're in proper physical form. I really don't see a problem with that because I think that it's country first. And they put some measures whereby, you know, and at the end of the day, no team supposed to depend on only national players. There must be a nucleus of players in your team to fill those gaps. So I don't see a problem with the putting sanctions to actually tell them, okay, they can't play. Bring in the nucleus of players. Where are the nucleus? Where are the subs? Carry them to the next level and to fill those gaps. That's when you have a team, not a side.
Well said. And of course, in terms of, well, you have that's the school football, you have the CFU, you have all of that happening. I just want to get from your point of view, and of course, you know, you're a coach, you've been a coach for years. Do you think that we have coaches in Trinidad here? Of course, we bring in coaches a lot to train our sides. Do you think that's necessary, or do we have coaches here that they have what it takes to lead our national teams?
First, let me say that yes, we do have coaches here can lead any national team, from youth to senior female. Yes, we do. However, what we don't have is that continued education of having coaches go to the next level to keep up with the whole trend of advancing football in international circles, we don't have that system. We need that system. But we do have excellent coaches who can coach any national team. That has been proven in the past.
Right.
But we need to implement this system whereby we can have continuing education coming to these local coaches.
Right.
And this is part of what the Northern Football Coaches Association is championing right now.
Right.
You know, because we have these, okay, for example, we have these international coaching courses. You have the UEFA B, UEFA A license, stuff and thing. We have coaches here in Trinidad, some of them who have these qualifications. But we need to balance it and ensure that in all zones, we could have coaches with international exposure and license, even though you have to send them, you know, and they come back and give back to the federation or the country and stuff like that. So we could enhance this thing holistically, rather than just every 3 years we pay 100,000 to bring down a coach, and then what? And sometimes we don't even have understudies working with them, you know. So we need to let our local coaches step up in terms of bringing up the education. Therefore, we wouldn't have no need to, you know, spending all these wasteless money. We could put that money back into the team.
All right.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
And of course, pay the local coaches. That's one thing I'm standing for. Pay the local coaches.
Yeah.
Don't just have them coaching. You pay them.
Because, you know, we had, and I'm still on the women's football because it's the topic, and it's something that I'm very passionate about. Because I always keep saying, you know, Jamaica, they didn't have a women's senior team for a while, and they decided to create a campaign to bring that light back. And here we are, a sister in the Caribbean, Trinidad, and this is the kind of attention we're getting internationally with the lack of funding. What would you say is because this has been an issue for years with sport, lack of funding. We've been hearing it since we were younger. We're hearing it. It seems to be something that will never end. What do you think? Is it the responsibility, would you say, of corporate Trinidad and Tobago, or is it the responsibility of the associations, the TTFAs, the sports TT, the Ministry of Sport? Is it their responsibility?
Well, definitely. They need to work hand in hand. There's no one responsibility. Corporate needs to come on to support the TTFA measures, and at the same time, TTFA needs to work in a sort of tangible way whereby these listings of international competitions are scheduled way in advance. So we need to know that, okay, for example, in January, we're having U20s or U14s tournament, whatever. So corporate and TTFA now to work together and say, okay, we're having this national team prepared to go Mexico or whatever, and, you know, bring up some sort of strategy early so that we can have this team properly ready to travel or properly ready to perform and represent the country, rather than this quick fix thing that 2 weeks and 3 weeks, and it has proven to be a failure.
Sure, true. Definitely. So I like what you're saying there. Everybody has to do their part, of course.
Everybody has to do their part. It's a collective between the corporate and the head football governing body. Everybody needs to work together for that. Don't only come on board when we see the team winning. Come on board from the development stage and work together. So let's all be happy when they are winning going forward.
Right. And of course, as the captain was here some time ago, and she said, you know, people just, everybody seems to be a bandwagonist when it comes to the women team.
Come to the right.
I mean, it's a Trinidad culture, as we always say, but of course, if we have the finances in place, if we have all this, and I mean, not just finances, because I understand that there's no representative with them there. It's just the players and, of course, the coach himself, the guy from Texas. So that's not really looking good. That's not looking good on our part.
Again, we go back to where the administration, you know, should have something more stable in terms of once a national team is traveling, you know, you have something called a technical staff. And a technical staff will comprise of A, B, C, D, F, G. And I don't know what reasons, but especially at that level, about national women's senior team and actually going into, you know, qualifiers for FIFA Women's Tournament. You need to have a proper structure, staff going in place here, not just only a coach. You need to have everybody who is expected, and all these girls, all these ladies need to do is focus on football. There's no such thing with these ladies about when my passport ready,
right.
how much money I had to get, and all these kind of things. That is not their function. Because we see it from time to time from an international level. They show you how the structure is. The players just play. You know,
that's their focus.
you have international artists. You know, international artist just sings. And the manager does the work
contract,
of,
everything
contract
else.
and whatever. So the players function and not to study about passport and this and that, and if I have money, if I have money, and what this. No, they have people to take care of that. That's not their worries. Your worries is get on that field and make Trinidad and Tobago proud and bring victories. That's your work.
And definitely.
So it all brings back a mental strain on the player. That when she or he has to study about, okay, I'm a wonder and a wonder and a wonder, and if and at that level.
That's a terrible look for us,
That's not professional.
So, Mr. O, I just want to thank you for taking the time to come down here and chat with us and let us know what's happening with the Coaches Association.
Most welcome.
And, of course, giving your input as well
Most welcome.
into the entire sport politics.
Yes, most welcome.
So, thank you, and looking forward. Come back, be a part of the show. Bring your staff.
I will. I'm looking forward again.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Definitely. So, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come right back. LTS.